Howdy folks, Effing Controller here, back with more Uncharted Waters New Horizons, playing as Ali. We have arrived at the port of Nagasaki after some slight complications, but everything's fine now. Everything's totally good. It's 4 a.m. We're gonna hit the trade office here. And I'm actually not going to sell gold yet. I kind of did this backwards, because I should be buying silver. Silver's only 43 here. Holy crap. The idea, though, is that I should be pumping up the price of silver / gold. So I'm going to be doing the same thing as before. I might off-screen this just because you guys have seen it enough, you get the point. I'm going to be buying in lots of 50. And then once I pump up the price, I'll be selling and then buying again. You know the score. So I'm going to do that and get back with you once I have sold everything off. And take note of the amount of money I have, 221 ingots, 1979 gold. And then we'll see how much I end up with. And here's where we're at after having sold all of our gold and bought a little bit of silver to take back to East Africa. 485 ingots, 2,039 gold pieces. That is quite a bit of profit. And having done that just now, I really feel like it's a lot better doing the Madeira and Lubeck route. It's much shorter, and I had to actually fiddle with the price quite a bit. I couldn't just buy like 1 or 2 lots of silver. I had to buy 3 lots of 50 in order to manipulate the price. And the maximum price I could get for gold was 1,350, which is considerably lower than in Northern Europe. So I don't feel like the difference between the price of gold in Africa is worth the distance, the danger, and all of that. Because you can just do Madeira to Lubeck with no problems. It's much shorter. You don't have to deal with storms or wind dying or anything like that. So I'm probably going to stick with that, but I am going to do another run back to East Africa. Before I do that, though, I want to invest here in Nagasaki as well as the other port of Japan, Sakai, and that'll give me the opportunity to start moving towards being able to build Takausens. Like I said, I don't want to build a fleet of them. That would take a long time, and I'm not really interested in that, but I would like to have a couple just to kind of see how it affects the dynamics of trade. I've built them before, and I honestly wasn't very impressed because the cargo capacity isn't as high as a full rigged, and if your preference is like mine to do the shorter route between Lubeck and Madeira, then it makes more sense to just get a really big ship and do it that way. But I don't know. We'll try some stuff. We don't have that far to go. So we're just gonna reload these ships. Let's see where that gets us food-wise. Let's resupply one more. But yeah, it took a little bit of finagling to be able to get to the point of having... Actually, you know what? Let's just resupply all. Forget it. And that way we can just sail straight from Sakai to East Africa. But yeah, I had to mess with the prices quite a bit in order to maximize our profits. Whoa! Stormy weather. Time for coffee. I wonder why my crew says 99. Did someone just say, fuck it, I'm out? Yeah, for some reason a couple of my ships only have 39. I don't know what that's about. They were a rounding error. Just deleted from existence by math. Don't worry about it. Okay. Cool. Neat. It's the worst. I did say that I was going to look for figureheads, but I didn't bother to, just because the economy rating of Nagasaki is really low right now. There's really not much of a purpose in doing that right now, so I didn't do it. There we go. And I don't remember between the two ports which of these is more advanced. It is this one for sure. So we'll get access to Takausens a lot quicker here. Best, first of all. They might have some interesting figureheads here, but we'll see what they've got. Gary, what do you got going on here? Not really. I mean, the giant eagle is better than nothing. I want a dragon at least, so that's gonna have to wait. Unfortunately. Okay, yeah, so at this point I'm ready to sail back to Africa to sell my silver, buy some more gold, and I'm going to do that route one more time. I'm not, like I said, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's actually better to do Madeira-Lubeck. You can do several more routes. I think you can do at least twice as many circuits of that than you can do of this. Between the storms and the wind dying, it's just a lot easier. And with this, you pretty much have, you have to do La Reals or Takausens just to make it worth your while. Otherwise, it'll take too long. The full rigged ships can be used on the Madeira to Lubeck route, and they have such a higher payload, and the amount of gold, or the price of the gold when you sell it back in Lubeck, is so much higher. I'm fine. The more I think about it, the more that I just feel like there's no way that this way is better. But people seem to use it. I don't know. I mean, I'm basing that off of FAQs from 15, 20 years ago. So who knows? I don't know where game theory stands, metagaming stands in uncharted waters at this point. But that's my guess where it's at. People do it, but maybe they shouldn't. The reason I'm going back to Africa and then I'm going to come back to Japan too is so that I can invest again. It might have even been worth my while to just kind of hang out by Japan until the month rolled over, because we're almost at the end of the month here. So there's that, but so let's see. Let's save the game here, just in case we run into a mishap. But I'm going to try sailing due west. I think we discovered that this is a pretty good way to run into a storm. We did have the luxury of having a figurehead on our one ship that we did this in before, yeah. And that helped, but now we have 9 ships and only one of them has the figurehead, so right on cue, we have a storm. Yeah, I'm totally set on doing Madeira and Lubeck. There's just, I will not be persuaded otherwise. Now that we're here in Sri Lanka. Oh my god. It's just brutal. Brutal. There we go, it's already done. So now if I sail west from here, I wonder if I'm going to run into a storm. Or better yet, no wind. I think I'm far enough north that I don't have to worry about the doldrums, but I don't know. We appear to be fine so far. Just waiting for the game to kill the wind right on cue, but we're good. Okay. I guess if you like, is this Mogadishu? So maybe if you invested in Mogadishu and got it to the point where it was selling gold, it would be worthwhile. I still, I don't know. I mean, I'm adding another day or two here by going to, well, I could go to Malindi, but I'm going to go to Mombasa here. Lots of levels to be had. Good stuff, though. I mean, that's nice. Good to get those levels. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the selling and buying and whatnot. It's gonna be a little tedious, so I will spare you that, and you'll just see me when we're about to leave Mombasa. Okie dokie. So I sold all of our silver and bought gold. One thing that is interesting about the silver in this is that I was buying it for like 55 or something like that per lot, and I was getting initially I was getting about 100, but I think that the lowest it would go was 85. So I was making a profit off of my silver, even though I had bottomed out the value of jewelry items in this port. So I mean, that is one benefit, but to me it doesn't make it worthwhile still. You're still making a ton of money off of the gold when you do the Lubeck and Madeira route. So I've loaded up an additional ship full of gold, just because I don't think I need quite as many provisions. Might be famous last words. But I will save the game. We'll go to Mogadishu and then jog over to the east. Take a little bit more of a cautious route as opposed to the stupid route that I was taking before. In fact, we'll just go to the end of the Horn of Africa here and then sail east, just to be extra safe so that I don't run into... Well, I won't go all the way to the end because I'm getting annoyed by how much further I have to go. Let's run into Calicut or something here. Go a little bit more to the northeast and then we'll go due east. I should recruit crew, I guess. Just because we're still... I mean, we're still making decent enough speed, but could be better. We'll be fine food-wise. And that's Cochin. We'll stop there. But I think the key here is avoiding storms altogether, just because that they slow this down so much. So we'll resupply here. We'll head to Japan. Might have to make another stop. We'll see how it goes. Ideally, we'll get there in about 2 weeks. I don't know that we'll necessarily do that, because the advantage to that would be that I wouldn't have to... I'd be able to do a double investment. Oh, and by the way, we have... How much gold? It's not really a good way to check at sea, is there? Have to go to character info, I guess? 417 ingots, 9,582 pieces. That's pretty good. Again, though, full rig ships, Madeira-Lubeck, you know the story. I'm a broken record. There's sometimes, whoops, there's sometimes a village on that island, on the Andaman Islands there. I think that's what that is. Not today, but something to bear in mind for when we play an adventurer. And I'm gonna just try to streak all the way to... I'm actually gonna go to Sakai first. We'll see. Let's see how... That's gonna be really close. We'll try our best. We do have Balm. I would really like to get there before the end of the month, just so that I can do that double investment. So wait, it actually makes more sense to go to Nagasaki. Let's try to go to Nagasaki, do the investment there. just barely be able to do this. Fuck. Have to use it. Okay. Do they sell balm here? I don't know. Now, Nagasaki is the port that I want to use for trade. But I'm going to invest here again. So, let's go... Because we'll have to make a stop back here. It doesn't matter. I don't know if they sell balm here. And the industry level here is garbage. I'm gonna check. I don't think that they sell balm. Yeah, no dice. They sell a Japanese sword, though. Go figure. Almost ran out of food, too. God. Yeah, I don't like it over here. I don't like this, this route. So, if we don't get a storm, we might just barely be able to pull it off. We will be able to do it. Perfect. Fantastic. Okay. So it's at 576. We'll invest again, and then we'll have to invest again. I have to stick around until... I think that the industry level has to be 1,000. Which kind of sucks. So we might have to do this a couple of times. And in that case, I don't know how excited I am about trading the way that I've been. I feel like trading gold and silver, as lucrative as it is, it's stressing me out, guys. Plus the inputs are really annoying. The menuing is like, it's really excruciating. Okay, so it's a new month and a new year. We're at 742. Let's see what they actually sell at this point. There are other Japanese ships that you can buy. They're pretty ho-hum. The Kansen is bad. It's a mid-sized ship. I don't think you can make it home in this one. It is the only ship in the game that has 100 and 100 for maneuverability and speed. But it doesn't have much cargo space. I mean, I guess it's okay. It's not that bad. I take that back. Consens are probably pretty decent for adventuring. I've never bought one before. The Atakabune is pretty good. It's okay. It is also highly maneuverable. You can reduce the crew and cannons to make it kind of like a La Real. But like I said, we're really interested in the Takausen, which hopefully we can get after quite some time. Go back to Nagasaki, do some investing. Eventually we will have to go back home to advance the plot. But let's go back to Nagasaki for the time being, do some investing. And avoid storms. I should have checked Sakai to see if it has... Ooh, you know what? I'm actually going to head back. I'm going to see if we can actually get a figurehead for our ships. Because it now has an industry level that is high enough to possibly build some, or to have access to some of the more interesting figureheads. It may... I don't know if the game has, like... The game does have categories of ports as far as what ships can be built. And it could also affect the types of figureheads that are available. I don't know if either Nagasaki or Sakai give you decent figureheads. Just wasted some food and water, but that's okay. Okay, now we're heading back to Nagasaki here. I bought that fancy sword in Calicut. You can also buy one, I think, here in Nagasaki. I don't remember for absolutely certain, but let's wait a little bit there. Maybe that's like 3 o'clock or so. I'm not entirely sure. I might have to pop in and out of the harbor here. Oh, 1:30. Welp. Just have to do that a couple of times. No big deal. Oh wait, it's 3:30. I was looking at my phone for a second. I apologize. That's not very professional of me, but you would expect nothing less. Okie dokie. And I'm gonna check figureheads here just for yucks. It's not gonna probably have anything worth getting, but we'll see what... Yeah, it's garbage. When we get back to Europe, maybe that'll help. Okay, I'm investing here, and then I'm going to sell gold, buy some silver, and then we'll do the route back to Africa. I might off-screen that entirely, and maybe what I'll do is I'll kind of grind things out to the point that I'm able to buy a Takausen and pick things up again there. How's that sound? Just so you guys don't have to endure me buying and selling repeatedly and sailing back and forth on that super annoying route and getting into storms. Maybe you enjoy that. Maybe you hate success, or at least my success, and I don't blame you. I mean, there's a lot to be jealous of at the end of the day. It's kind of nice to see me taken down a peg or two, I imagine. But I'm not interested in that. So as you can see, the most I can get for gold here, by the way, is 1,350. I think I was getting 1650 in Europe, so that's again a strong argument. Anyway, I'm going to be selling this off, buying silver, going back to Africa. You know the score.